We have 3 short films by 3 talented filmmakers, and they all have criminally low view counts. So let's fix that, give these films some spotlight, and break down the things that worked and the opportunities for improvement, but I'll let you be the judge for each of these films. We'll start with a really fun one called No Such Thing, submitted by Zach Hoffmeyer. It's 9 minutes, 46 seconds long. It's a thriller. 2 lifelong friends make a breakthrough in their search for aliens. All right, this is a no-budget film made by me and 4 of my friends. We'd love to hear it. Let's take a look. 291 views. Criminal. Spaceship in the first 5 seconds. And beautiful cinematography. We're hooked. Great start. Surprisingly good VFX, huh? For a no-budget project.
Hi, welcome to Subway. How can I help you? What do you want?
I love that. It says everything about their friendship, their dynamic, just with that one little line.
I got the picture, dude. You can't deny the picture. It's proof.
Dude, you sent me a photo of somehow blurry colored pixels. That photo was hella corrupted.
Dude, EMPs. The aliens got them. The electro, whatever. It gets in the digital phones. It messes it all up. That's why I got this bad boy for 25 bucks. Not digital. It'll record the aliens, man.
EMPs.
Yeah?
Electromagnetic pulse. Okay, first of all, camera's electric. Second of all, the tape is magnetic, so that would get distorted. Third of all, you're an idiot. Where do you even get this idea? Like some podcast or something?
Dude, trust me. It'll work.
You probably just saw some low-flying helicopter, or maybe you had a hallucination and you're gonna die in an hour from a brain aneurysm.
I saw it, dude. I saw it with my eyes. If you didn't believe me, why are you here?
You don't have a car, and maybe I just wanted to prove you wrong. Maybe I wanted to laugh in your face.
You believe me. You believe me.
I feel like these types of scenes play a little better when, even though it's comedic, the characters get genuinely upset with each other. They play it super straight. Really like the color grade overall in this film. And the score is nice too. The drone shot's it's hard to match that camera to the main camera though. Martian soda, 2 on the nose?
So do they just chill?
I think that's all any animals do. I think they just vibe.
So are those ones like for milk, or are those like the eat ones?
So there's like standard cow, right? Black white cow. That's milk cow. And then we got black cow, and that's meat cow. So
How do you know all that?
I don't. Somebody told me or something. I don't know. Did you ever see the test footage from the Muppet movie?
What?
I know so Jim Henson, Frank Oz take Kermit and Fozzie. They go out to some farm field in the middle of nowhere just to see how the Muppets look in real life. And the cows just love Kermit. Like 50 cows from a field run out, and Jim Henson's crying, laughing because they just love little green Kermit. I don't know.
Dude,
Hilarious.
you remember Muppets in Space?
Dude, oh my God.
It's a classic.
Oh
man.
my God.
I can't believe those Muppets were from space.
Shut up.
Bring it back to space. Now you can make the argument that none of that was necessary. But I do think it kind of established what their friendship is, why they actually hang out with each other. Just them bullshitting around like that. And it was kind of funny, it was kind of humorous. It did bring it back to space at the end. Could it have been shorter? Probably. Killing a lot of time here. I mean, that's the point of that, but I like this shot. Now I really like this shot. That was great. Great simple VFX shot too.
Hey, help me with the chairs! Help me with the chairs!
Fuck the chairs. Get in the car. Get in the car. Keys. Drive. Get it. See this?
You were right! No, you were right! You were fully right!
I'm getting it. Follow it.
Holy shit!
Oh my God.
Wait!
Here's the thing. To me, when you're doing no budget sci-fi stuff like this, it's tough to go to like Home Depot and just pick up tubes and parts and metal things and try to make it look like something totally alien. If they had taken a different direction with this and gone a more biological technology route, I think you could pull off a lot more. So if you had like a tentacle or like a vine wrapped around his head instead of that sink hose thing, and it was just covered in goo or slime, you're not gonna know what it is, but you're gonna know that it's like an alien device or part or whatever, and that's all you need. It needs to feel alien and scary and foreign. It's just like a different way of achieving the same effect. Some actual snow falling. Looks like the snow falling is gone now. That'll happen. Sound design could be a little better with the Foley in this section. These keys sound very loud. Tasteful dropout in the sound design here though. I like that, it's a good choice. Little build up with the little drone riser. Cut it off again. Good, I like it.
Oh my God. Ugh.
clever way of hiding this low-budget corpse kind of going in and out of focus, but it doesn't feel like that's what they're doing. Felt pretty justified. Skies are clear. Where's that UFO? All right, that's it. And we got some cool 3D credits too. All right, No Such Thing. Let's talk about it. Now, there's clear strengths to this thing. I mean, first of all, got a no-budget film, over 9 minutes long. I was engaged from beginning to end. It was interesting. It had a great hook right at the beginning. You get this spaceship, and the cinematography is nice. Look how nice this close-up of them is in a second here. It's beautiful. They shot this at dusk, I'm guessing, and beautiful color grade on it. So yeah, great VFX and cinematography. Now, there's a couple of things. I feel like some of the dialogue scenes here, I get that they're going for this kind of like bullshitting around realism between these two characters, and I think that's good. But maybe if it could have come full circle more, and that's kind of my main note or thought about this, is that I feel like the ending of the film, it felt kind of like an afterthought to me. Like, sure, his friend does get killed by the aliens at the end, but nothing leading up to this really made me feel like that was gonna matter that much. You know, we start comedic, we end very serious. The fact that his friend is dead and then it just kind of ends, it doesn't really feel that much different than if they had just ended kind of right here up in the spaceship. If they had taken the ending that they have here where he finds his dead friend's corpse in the snow and gone even further with it, then I think you could have done something interesting. There's not enough mystery that I want to know more, but there's not enough closure either. And I feel like either give me full closure or give me full mystery head fuck. So if he had found his friend's corpse in the snow, and then like right here, he looks up and he sees the friend just standing like 20 feet away, just looking at him, looking down at his own corpse, being like, what the hell? And then this guy looks over and sees another corpse and it's his own dead body. And then they just look at each other like, why are our dead bodies in the snow right here? And then they get in the car and they're driving back to Subway. That's really interesting. Now it's like, there's way more mystery. There's like actually way less solving anything, but it makes it much more interesting. Like, what do these aliens do? And then I think the other thing is, you know, I kind of wanted it to get back to a more comedic, silly or lighthearted ending. I just didn't quite feel that the heaviness of this ending was earned. So doing something like that alternate ending that I said, and then, you know, if they got back in the car and they're driving back to Subway and the one guy's like, hey, do you mind if we never talk about this ever again? And the other guy's like, yep. I don't know, that's very funny to me because now they're just gonna go live the rest of their lives, never acknowledging that this insane, bizarre, horrific thing happened to them and that they don't even know if they are themselves anymore, but they're just gonna go work at Subway. Anyways, that's just one thought for the ending. You know, overall, the last scene just kind of felt like an afterthought to me. So if we were building to something that was really strong right at the end, it would make this film just take it all to the next level. But I mean, again, over 9 minutes long, super entertaining, interesting. You got real characters, they feel like real people, and surprisingly impressive VFX and cinematography that really elevate the project, especially for a DIY film, no budget, a few buddies getting together making this thing. Pretty inspiring stuff. And speaking of DIY, cinematography, and VFX, if you're interested in leveling up your own creative skills, I recommend you check out this video's sponsor, Skillshare. You know, when I transitioned from making my own short films to becoming a freelance editor based on those short films, I relied on online classes to learn the proper editing workflows and the business side of freelancing because I kind of had no idea what I was doing. I was just doing everything the way I had done it. I didn't even know how to make an invoice. So all these online classes actually helped me a lot. And I think as a director, you need to know at least a little bit about everything that you're working on. The writing, the cinematography, music theory, color theory, like all these things are really helpful because they let you collaborate more effectively with the experts and all the different departments on your set. They let you make more informed decisions. So Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives. They got thousands of classes taught by industry experts, and their learn by doing approach is fantastic. After you complete a class, you can create and share projects with the community to get valuable feedback. Plus, Skillshare's on-demand platform and their stackable lessons mean you can learn at your own pace. So right now I'm diving into graphic design, trying to improve my video thumbnail game, trying to improve the way my end credits and my movie titles look, because I can always tell they're not quite right, but I can't figure out why. So jumping into Skillshare, taking a typography class, now I'll be able to do better end credits in my films, have it look a little more slick and professional. Oh, and the best part about Skillshare, the first 500 people to use the link in my description will get a 1-month free trial. So why not make the most of what's left of the summer here and see how much you can learn in just a month for free. And then if you love it, you can continue your membership, keep that learning momentum going for a very reasonable price. So check out Skillshare today. Join a community of creative minds like yourself and take your skills to the next level. All right, so great job, Zach Hoffmeyer. And here's a little info about the project. Made with no budget by me and 4 friends. The director and I both acted in it, and I did all the post work, editing, color, VFX, sound, and score. Well done. The score was great too. All right, let's jump into the next film. Bombs Away, submitted by Will Roberts. And this is a drama, 7.5 minutes. A workaholic faces the imminent nuclear apocalypse by taking his dog for a walk. 509 views, come on.
There's so much going on in the world right now. But none of that is within our control. What is within our control is what we choose to spend our time on, right? Our focus, our creative energy, our passion, and most importantly, the outcome of this project.
We're doing something important for the business. So take a minute, walk around the office,
Take a deep breath and do what you need to do. I'll be on site in 30 minutes. We'll regroup then and get this over the line.
One critique. I've seen this a couple times now, and that first opening little monologue that turns into, you think it's narration and then it's, you know, a diegetic phone call, which is cool. It never sinks into me. It just feels generic and it just kind of washes over me. He's giving information, I guess, but I don't know. Then you just find out it's a work call, and it just feels like generic work call to me, and I kind of wish it had more personality of this character injected into it, or we learn more about him besides, you know, he has a job, he's on a call, and he's maybe not giving his dog as much attention as he should.
Reports from the UN were particularly grim today as tempers
Prospects for
flared.
resolution of the impasse are looking increasingly dire.
It seems that the multilateral talks had completely broken down despite the midnight deadline.
Frankly, I'm surprised at the obstinate brinkmanship from all parties.
It's a very voiceover heavy film, and I like the audio montage they did right there.
And the utter destruction of all life on Earth that political forces seem to be willing to unleash.
I'm actually working on it right now.
People used to speculate about whether cockroaches would survive this or that sort of nuclear catastrophe. You don't ever want to count out the cockroaches. But if they do survive the predicted onslaught, they'll be pretty lonely.
Good music choice.
The president has announced from an undisclosed location that the final diplomatic efforts to divert the multilateral nuclear crisis have apparently failed.
2 weeks ago, Congress authorized the use of our nuclear arsenal as a final option to deal with this unprecedented aggression against...
Very voiceover heavy, maybe too voiceover heavy, and I do feel like some of the shots that we just saw, I do like this shot by the way, but some of the shots that we just saw were kind of filler shots. I would have rather had that voiceover happening over story or character moving shots. This seems like maybe there wasn't a real building here and he just had to fake it. But I love this shot, the composition, the footprints going backwards, repeating the shot for going the other way. Really nice. Also, it's a little unclear, like, that he was even going to work there to me.
Emergency broadcast system. Important instructions will follow. Every nuclear-capable nation on the planet has initiated launch sequences for attacks and automated launch sequences for anticipated counterattacks. Explosions of nuclear devices and collateral explosions in your area are certain. You are advised to seek shelter immediately.
Nice coverage. Very clean, crisp
This is not
cinematography
a
throughout
test.
this.
This is the emergency broadcast system.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, buddy. I'm calling you, and Mom's calling your brother. He's telling him you love him.
Thanks, Dad.
I love you, bud.
Love you too.
I actually love this phone call scene.
All of this, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
This strained relationship that you can just sense between these characters.
I'm gonna hang up. Go be with Mom.
Okay.
So anticlimactic. Great. Jets flying overhead. Easy effect, but helps build out the world. And I kind of want more of that in this film too. I know it's like a no-budget film, but if there was any way to have more creative moments where you see the world falling apart in the periphery, it'd be great. Beautiful dog. More of the dog, please. And good music choices throughout. It kind of elevates the production value. Picking up his dog turds even at the end of the world. What a citizen. Real weather adds so much production value. It's a bitch to film in, but undeniably cool looking when you have real snow, real rain. This is a great setup. This dog is a real star. I like this ending shot a lot. Bombs away. There it is. Another no-budget beauty. Doesn't really feel like very no budget, but I think this, Will just knew what he was doing. And that's really all you need. 509 views though, come on. This is great. Now let's talk about what I think is a missed opportunity with this story in particular. This ending I actually like a lot. I think working a story towards this ending is a great idea. I mean, the logline alone. How do you tell your dog about the nuclear apocalypse? That's great. I kind of feel like the film didn't necessarily give me enough of that. Like, I feel like we spent so much time with the dog owner going to work, going back to work on like kind of generic phone calls, and then all these voiceovers about how this nuclear catastrophe is about to happen. I mean, and on the one hand, it's world building, but on the other hand, it's like kind of, it is no budget world building. You're just doing the voiceover. So doing it like once, I think, is all I really want. I wouldn't want it again. And I feel like there was maybe 3 of them in this film. Now, instead, what I might propose in an alternate reality where we were refilming this movie keep this ending in mind, right? We want this guy and his dog alone together at the end of the world. He's got a strained relationship with his dad. He can't get the connection that he wants there, but he goes back to home and he sees his dog waiting for him. And he's like, you know what? The dog we're going to be together at the end of the world. And that's beautiful. So how can we work backwards from there to make this ending as strong as it possibly can be? That's kind of how I like to think about stories. It's like, find an ending that you love, work backwards to make that ending elevated as much as it possibly can be. And to me, I feel like this comes down to the fact that I wanted to spend more time with the dog. Like I kind of wanted the dog to be the main character. And for that to happen, we spend a little bit of time with the dog at the beginning, but it's mostly from most of the film is from the man's perspective. If all this stuff kind of happened from the dog's perspective, like he's taking phone calls, we're hearing the news and stuff, but we're staying with the dog and we're giving the dog something that he or she wants. Like, for example, if the dog just wanted to walk the whole time, if the dog just wanted to play fetch and, it's got the toy or the leash in its mouth. And meanwhile, this guy's distracted by like the news, work, and all this stuff. And he's not giving the dog that thing. That it's like a very simple, stripped away version of this film. But I actually think it would be more emotional because then at the end, you finally do get this moment where he takes the dog out. The dog's getting what it wanted, and then everything ends. You could even do some kind of like slow motion moment where he does finally throw the toy and play fetch, and then, the dog's jumping up for it, and then you see like a big flash in the background or something like that, and the dog died doing what he loved, what he wanted all along. To me, it just makes me connect with the characters more when I see that they have a concrete like want or need. And I don't even know that the owner in this had that concrete want or need. It kind of just seemed like he was going through the motions of his life, which, technically the story is going, but I'm not connecting with him that much. Sorry, my recording messed up there, but just to finish that thought, I just wanted to connect with the main character, whether that's the dog or the man, by knowing what they want, what's in the way, and following them on that journey, as opposed to kind of following the step-by-step, day-to-day of this guy's life as these crazy things are happening in the world. But great job, Will, and let's hear a little fun fact about this. The short absolutely follows the model you talk about in your channel. No budget, scrappy, use what you have. Love it. Made a few BTS videos about the production, editing, VFX, and sound design of the short, and I actually checked these out. Really well done. So check out his production video if you got the time. He talks about filming himself on camera, which is really difficult, and also working with a dog as a main character being very difficult, something that I'm gonna have to deal with on The Lost Fortune of Oliver Brody short film, which is still in the works, folks. Got an update on that coming soon. Yeah, great stuff. Thanks so much, Will. And let's go on to our final film, submitted by Aiden Gwines, I believe is how you pronounce it, called Untitled Floating Mom Short, which is simultaneously doing the most and the least of all three titles that we've gotten here. And 9.5 minutes long, coming-of-age dark comedy. A girl's mother has started to levitate unconsciously. At the same time, the girl grapples with an unusually optimistic doctor's visit. Let's give it a watch. And again, 434 views, absolutely criminal. Oh, and I think this played at some festivals, yeah. Palm Springs Short Fest, great festival. That's where Will the Machine screened at too, along with Flickers Rhode Island. So yeah, very good fests. Let's give it a watch.
My mom started floating last week. I'm not sure how to get her down.
There's your hook. This short film does what it says in the 10, folks. Came for a floating mom, and I got it right away.
On top of that, I had a doctor's appointment.
I'm actually very happy with what I'm seeing today. Your vital signs look okay?
He told me that my resting heart rate is very low, and I will probably live into my 90s, barring any major accidents.
When the weight finally lifts away.
Beautiful cinematography and compositions throughout this film. I like the music too.
I thought maybe I could shorten that time by smoking. That kind of turned me off of the idea. Something about it seemed too extra. I talked to my older self to get her thoughts on life so far.
I think when this film was made, there was a mood board made, and they grabbed Helena Bonham Carter from Fight Club and threw her in for this character. Just a guess.
So far. I thought we quit.
Mom never smoked. But look what happened to her. Listen, never wait for the right moment. It'll never wait for you. Never wish for harder times. Enjoy the smiles you have while they last. They won't last. Don't make friends with regret. It'll tempt you with pity. And pity is a nasty drug.
Maybe it's just the editor in me, but to me, the wacky sound effects here doesn't fit into this film quite as well as some of the other bold stylistic choices throughout the thing. It just jumps out too much and not the best way to me.
This thing really fucked us up. I don't know if that helps. Check.
She was surprisingly profound, and it made me feel better. But then I forgot what she said.
More dog acting.
I checked the news and social because I like to be up to date. But then there was too much of it.
This house set is gorgeous, and it really works with the aesthetic of the film. I'm wondering if this was set decked a ton, or if it just kind of already looked this way for the most part, or if this is even like a set. I don't know, the wallpaper's doing so much work.
And it made me care less about all of it. To be honest, I didn't really have a bad upbringing. I think it was actually pretty great, so I don't know why I have these thoughts. There's a guy that keeps coming in and eating all our food. I'm not sure how to get him to leave. And honestly, it's just kind of bad timing when I'm trying to solve this problem with my mom. I decided to try hero style and battle him in the alleyway. If I didn't make it out alive, that wouldn't be the worst thing. Of course, it's never as easy as it looks in the movies. Why did I even go out? It's so wet. In other news, my boyfriend got mad at me because he thinks I don't care about him. I told him, I really do care, I just don't know how to express it sometimes. But I don't think he believed me because of the way I said it.
That shit's gonna kill you!
Additionally, these bumps grew on my face, and I'm like 99% sure that they are like a skin disease. I could literally die any day, but it's not good because there's still stuff I need to figure out. But anyway, back to this issue with my mom because I'm starting to get worried.
Score's great. Now in this shot, this is the only time that we see the floating mom that I can kind of see the whatever board or plank might be holding her up. I think we're just too straight on and level with her.
I'm running out of ideas on what to try.
But I love the wobble and how she sometimes is like twisting. It really sells the dreaminess of the effect.
Like, I want to make sure my mom gets down, but it's probably not enough of a reason to stick around long term, to be honest.
Yep. Man, is it nice. Look at that sunshine.
This guy's got a great voice.
You know, my Dottie floated once.
Really?
Must have been 20 years ago. Took her a year to come down, but she did eventually. That was a tough time.
How'd you get her down?
You know, I never really did know why she was up there in the first place. Or why she came down. It was nothing I did. That doesn't help you at all. I wish I'd give you a better answer. I think I felt I had to be there for her when she did come down. Dottie's been with the Lord 3 years now. Soon I'll be there. Be good to see her again. Yeah. It's a beautiful day. Well, tell your mother I said hi when she comes down. It's just a matter of time. I'm gonna walk this way.
It's my favorite way for a character to leave a scene. I'm gonna walk this way. It's kind of like how he appeared in the film. He just like meandered into this film. I couldn't tell if she knew him or not, but seems like they already know each other because he's saying, say hi to your mom and all that. And he knows that her mom is floating. Do have an issue with this scene, but we'll circle back. I like the sound design. Good ambience, peaceful, serene. Dreamy without being too in your face about it. And then the compositions. I mean, the mom floating in the background here. Come on, this is great.
I wish people still made real photo albums. It may have just been the lighting, but I could have sworn that she had lowered by an inch or two. At least, I hoped she did. I guess we'll see what happens.
I know that things fall apart. The center can't hold me, and I'm only as my.
And there it is. That is Untitled Floating Mom Short. With some appropriately unique and interesting looking end credits. All right, so what do we think? What do we think? I mean, obviously some great cinematography. I love the just, you know, the vibrancy, the creativity. Every scene has something going on that kind of transforms it into something unique. You never know where the story's going to go next. She's going to be just having a casual lunch with an older version of herself. She's going to be having a little superhero moment on the roof of a building, talking to a random old man on the street. Now, I did have an issue with this scene. Now, this scene to me was important in the film, but it kind of dragged to me. It was the longest scene. It was the one with the most dialogue, yet it lacked any of the kind of surreal quirkiness of most of the rest of the film. And also, I think structurally, this guy kind of comes in like a Deus Ex Machina, where he just appears to kind of solve this girl's problem, or at least point her down a path. And then the next thing, she's looking at the photo album, she's thinking about what he said, and then she goes to the mom and says, you know what, I'll stick around, I'll wait for you to come down from floating. And I think I just kind of wanted her to come to that realization more on her own. But really, this is all part of a bigger thought that I have about this whole thing, which is I feel like it's just a lot of telling instead of showing, in the sense that we're using narration throughout. If there was a cut of this movie with no narration, if that could be rewritten to make that work, I think it would be actually a lot stronger. And this is just kind of the big problem with narration in general. You know, check that narration video I did a few videos ago. At the very end, I kind of want to see her do something that shows the change of heart that she's had, instead of just saying,
I guess we'll see what happens.
I guess we'll see what happens, and then it just ends. I feel like I want to see what that looks like. Like, show me her having that change by her physically doing something concrete and real that we can see play out, you know, showing, not telling. This shot, by the way, love this shot. This is, to me, just such a poetic, beautiful shot. It sums up the entire story. Her mom's over here floating. She notices it's a couple inches lower because we rack focus to this door pane here where her mom was charting the main character as she grew up. And it just kind of says so much in one shot. But as far as the showing and telling, I would say the same thing for the beginning of the film. I'd like to see what she wants and what she's feeling represented with something physical, like an action that she's doing, like an action like she takes. This doesn't make any sense for this film exactly, but for example, if she was like, oh, my mom's floating, I'm gonna, you know, tie a string around her to keep her here or something like that. And then at the end, if she cut the string, you know, this is telling a completely different metaphor now, but that's like an example of showing the change of heart that she said without her having to actually say it. So just something like that, it would make me connect with her more. And that's kind of what we want. You know, to me, I'm a meat and potato story guy. I like plot devices, storytelling I can see through situational things. This is maybe a little too heady and intellectual for me, and it just kind of washed over me as opposed to getting me emotionally invested in this character, what she wants, what she's going through. Like I had to use my head more than my heart to connect with her. So ideally you get both. But great job, Aiden. I really did like this film, though. So much creativity bursting from the seams. And I think the overall idea of the floating mom is a nice symbol. I mean, that could represent so many things. It could be a parent who's aloof, neglectful, an alcoholic, something like that. They're all floating and leaving you to your own devices. And here's some other info about the film. Shot over 3 days in Philadelphia. We almost got hit by a whizzing stray bullet while shooting an exterior scene when a gunfight started a block away, the interior car scene. Damn, that's scary. Budget was $10K all in, and we shot it almost all on the FX9. Okay, damn, looked like film. Thanks so much, Aiden Gines, Will Roberts, Zach Hoffmeyer, for submitting these awesome films. I hope y'all keep it up, and can't wait to see what y'all do in the future. Give them props for submitting their film to be publicly critiqued. It's pretty scary. I'll put the links below to their films and their channels. Check them out, subscribe, etc. And if you want to submit your film to be critiqued on the channel next time, then go to standardstoryco.com and sign up for Friday Film Notes. That's my free weekly newsletter about filmmaking. Don't submit me your film yet. I will put out a call for entries in like a month or so when I'm ready for more. The last one, I just got bombarded. My inbox was devastated by all of these submissions, so I'm going to be more organized next time. And that's it, folks. Let's make some movies, huh?